At the foot of the grave so recently closed, we were both so much overcome by our emotions that we omitted to confide to each other what we may have had to say.
Yes, madame.
Well, then, I had no sooner left you than I repented, and have ever since been most anxious to ascertain the truth. You know that Madame de Longueville and myself are almost one, I suppose?"
"I am not aware,"
said Aramis discreetly. "I remembered, therefore," continued the Duchess, "that neither of us said anything to the other in the cemetery, that you did not speak of the relationship in which you stood to the Franciscan whose burial you had superintended, and that I did not refer to the position in which I stood to him, all which seemed very unworthy of two such old friends as ourselves, and I have sought an opportunity of an interview with you in order to give you some information that I have recently acquired, and to assure you that Marie Michon, now no more, has left behind her one who has preserved her recollection of events." Aramis bowed over the Duchess's hand and pressed his lips upon it.
"You must have had some trouble to find me again," he said.
"Yes," she answered, annoyed to find the subject taking a turn which Aramis wished to give it. "But I knew you were a friend of Monsieur Fouquet's, and so I inquired in that direction."
"A friend? Oh," exclaimed the Chevalier, "I can hardly pretend to be that. A poor priest who has been favoured by so generous a protector, and whose heart is full of gratitude and devotion to him, is all that I pretend to be to Monsieur Fouquet."
"He made you a bishop?"
"Yes, Duchess."
"A very good retiring pension for so handsome a musketeer."
"Yes, in the same way that political intrigue is for yourself," thought Aramis.
"And so," he added, "you inquired after me at Monsieur Fouquet's?" "Easily enough. You had been to Fontainebleau with him and had undertaken a voyage to your diocese, which is Belle-Île-en-Mer, I believe."
"No, madame," said Aramis. "My diocese is Vannes."
"I meant that. I only thought that Belle-Île-en-Mer
is a property belonging to Monsieur Fouquet, nothing more."
"Ah, I had been told that Belle-Île was fortified. Besides, I know how great the military knowledge is you possess."
"I have forgotten everything of the kind since I entered the church," said Aramis, annoyed.
"Suffice it to know that I learnt you had returned from Vannes, and I sent to one of our friends, Monsieur le Comte de la Fère, who is discretion itself, in order to ascertain it, but he answered that he was not aware of your address."
"So like Athos," thought the bishop.
"That which is actually good never alters." "Well, then, you know that I cannot venture to show myself here, and that the Queen Mother has always some grievance or other against me."
"Yes, indeed, and I am surprised at it."
"Oh, there are various reasons for it. But, to continue, being obliged to conceal myself, I was fortunate enough to meet with Monsieur d'Artagnan, who was formerly one of your old friends, I believe."
"A friend of mine still, Duchess."
"He gave me some information and sent me to Monsieur Baisemeaux, the governor of the Bastille." Aramis was somewhat agitated at this remark, and a light flashed from his eyes in the darkness of the room, which he could not conceal from his keen-sighted friend.
"Monsieur de Baisemeaux?" he said. "Why did D'Artagnan send you to Monsieur de Baisemeaux?"
"I cannot tell you."
"What can this possibly mean?" said the bishop,
summoning all the resources of his mind to his aid in order to carry on the combat in a befitting manner. "Monsieur de Baisemeaux is greatly indebted to you, D'Artagnan told me."
"True, he is so."
"And the address of a creditor is as easily ascertained as that of a debtor."
"Very true, and so Baisemeaux indicated to you
Saint-Mandé, where I forwarded a letter to you."
"Which I have in my hand, and which is most precious to me," said Aramis, "because I am indebted to it for the pleasure of seeing you here."
The Duchess, satisfied at having successfully alluded to the various difficulties of so delicate an explanation, began to breathe freely again, which Aramis, however, could not succeed in doing.
"We had got as far as your visit to Monsieur Baisemeaux, I believe?"
"Nay," she said, laughing, "further than that."
"In that case, we must have been speaking about the grudge you have against the Queen Mother."
"Further still," she returned, "further still. We were talking of the connection—"
"Which existed between you and the Franciscan," said Aramis, interrupting her eagerly. "Well, I am listening to you very attentively."
"It is easily explained," returned the Duchess. "You know that I am living at Brussels with Monsieur de Lake?"
"I have heard so."
"You know that my children have ruined and stripped me of everything."
"How